Hey everyone, it's Sebastian with Candle Business Pro. Hey, I'm back with 5 more questions that people in our community have asked this week. So let's get into it. The first one is from Heidi. Heidi wants to understand the difference between wholesale, white label, and private label. Great question. So wholesale is when I am a manufacturer of candles and I make a candle and I put them out in the world to be sold. And people want to buy these from me to then sell in their stores, and that's what wholesale would be. They want this candle in the exact form that it comes in with the exact labeling, lid, whatever, however I'm selling this, they want to buy it from me, how I'm selling it, to then turn around and sell it themselves. That's wholesale. A couple things about wholesale. A retailer is not going to want to spend more than 50% of what I retail this for. So this is a $26 candle in our store. A retailer is not going to want to spend more than $13 to buy this from me to then turn around, because they want to sell it for what I'm selling it for. And so if they want to sell it for $26 and they want to buy it from 13 so that they can make $13. That's how it works with wholesale. So you got to make sure that your pricing is right to be able to do wholesale. If that's the direction you want to go, I do have a pricing video, so you can check that out in our list of videos as well. So that's wholesale. A couple things about wholesale. We always have minimums about wholesale as far as the order value. So like ours, an opening order with us is $300. If you want to start stocking our candles in your shop, I love that. You got to buy $300 worth from me to get started. There's lots of other terms of like how many of each scent you would have to buy, because I don't want them buying just one of these, one of that, one of that. I don't want them doing that. So those are all in my terms and conditions. We actually have a mastering wholesale course in our at candlebusinesspro.com. We have a wholesale course. If you're far enough down the journey that you really want to dive in, check that out. We're in 120 stores now, and we've been doing this for 2.5 years. Wholesale, that we've been trying to get accounts, and we're in the airports now, and which was a great account to get. Also, we're in a retailer that we're in 40 of their locations, and hoping to expand that even farther because they've got like 360 locations. We're in 40. We're hoping to go wider, but we'll see. So that's wholesale. Um, and for the next one was the private label. So private label is going to be when you're making a candle for someone else to retell it, and it doesn't have your branding on it. So we, in fact, we private label for a women's boutique, just a couple doors down here, and it's one of these Aura type of candles that we do it with, and so it's like a candle just like this, and we have a lid on there. It's a custom scent that we created for them, but there would be none of our branding. So like generally, like in our store, we sell this candle that has our label on the box and all that for the branding. But for them, then obviously it's either going to have their branding if they want to have branding on it, labeling on here or on the packaging if you're going to have that. But you still do need to have your information on the bottom as far as, or somewhere, excuse me, it doesn't have to be on the bottom. We put it on the bottom as the manufacturer so that the end user knows who to reach out to if there's a problem with the way the product was manufactured. So if candle exploded, obviously they probably call the retailer first and let them know. But legally, you got to have who and where is manufactured. And so we do on our warning labels over there have our information. So but private labeling is making something for someone else that you don't sell yourself. It's just for them. You can put branding on there for them. Francis J is the women's boutique. They're fantastic. And they opted to just to have very sleek, not a logo or anything on it. But they do have a lid. So we do have a lid on that candle for them. So that's private labeling. You're making something for someone else to retail that it's going to be exclusive for them. Now, pricing, the way that goes is it's not, so this is a $54 candle for us here in the shop with the box and all that. But for them, I think they're selling theirs for 58. Now it has a lid. It's a little bit, if you want a lid, and then it looks nicer, I guess. We go back and forth on lids. But so for them, they wanted a lid. We built the candle for them. So they came in, Chad and them worked for 4 or 5 months on creating the scent. In fact, their scent is very similar to our, one of the candle of the month that we just did. We used a scent that they ended up not going with. They went with a different one. I'm getting off topic now. So private label, you make it for them. Oh, with pricing. So pricing is, we say, hey, how much do you want to retail this for? What is your customer going to spend for a candle? And we they decided on $58 is what they wanted to retail that for. So we went and we took half of that because they're always going to want to make at least that 100% markup. So we were like, all right, so we've got $29 to play with basically on making you a fantastic candle. So we came back to them with like three different options. Here's a $17 candle, a $23 candle, and a $27 candle, right? And they ended up, I think, like 24.50, I think is what we make, or we sell this candle ready to go for them for like 24.50, which is great for us. I think this is for that one with the lid and everything else, that might be a 11 or $12 candle that we make, and we're gonna sell it to them for like 24.50. They're turning around and selling it to their customers at $58. So it works out really well. So pricing isn't necessarily always going to be that 100% markup, but it should be very close. But you're coming to an agreement with the retailer on all aspects of the candle. Last one was white labeling. So white labeling is instead of buying this candle, you're buying this candle. So you're buying a candle with no branding on it that would come back to us, as far as us, because our branding's on here at the bottom. So it'd be removing our branding for something, and you're buying these in bulk, and then you are putting your own branding on it and selling it just as is. So you're sticking a sticker on there, a label on there, and selling it. If you go on to, which we don't do any of that. There's just not margins there because that's so competitive because there's factories that are literally making thousands and thousands of just white labeled candles every single day. So if you go onto Amazon and you can just type in white label candle, you can buy like packs of 24 candles for like $50. And it's like, how can you make a candle of this size for like $2 and sell it, right? You've got to be able to make some crazy amounts of candles to do that. We can't do that. So we always do, we do wholesale clearly. And then we also do the private label candles or a combination of both, where some will be like, oh, hey, I love this. Um, I love the scent, I love everything about this, but we want to have our branding on here. Can you work with us on that? Can you do that for us? Yeah, sure, absolutely. So then we'll just work with them on the design of their label, which a lot of times will just be like their branding. And we'll work with them and do that. And we're still able to sell this to them at wholesale or actually wholesale plus a little bit. So like we have an account so this is a $26 candle. We wholesale this for $13 to them. But since we are ordering the labels for them and getting those and putting them on, then we're charging like 14 or 14 and a quarter for that. So they're not quite getting 100% markup, but they're getting something that has their branding and everything on it. So it's not as in depth as private labeling, where we are creating scents with them and it's exclusive just to them. So it's a little combination of both. So you can swap it up, change it however you like. But those are the three main different, or the three main ways of selling outside of direct to customers: wholesale, private label, or white labeling. All right. So the next question is from Tim. Tim asked how to get internet sales. To get internet sales, you have to have a really good website. It doesn't have to be, at Nike level or some of these like fantastic, Macy's or something like that. You've got to have a website that when someone goes to it, it's appealing. Your photos have to be right. Your product descriptions have to be right. It has to be easy to navigate. If I know that you're selling a Fraser Fir candle and I want to go buy your Fraser Fir candle, when I get to your website, it's gonna be really simple for me to find what I'm looking for, whether it's because of your categories at the top and then your drop down. Don't make it overwhelming. Keep it in a nice and clean by collection. Or if you can have like a shop wall that'll have all your products possibly in alphabetical order for someone to find what they're looking for. You can check out our website if you'd like. I'm proud of it. We About 6 months ago, I revamped it and I went really hard with search engine optimization, which is SEO. And that's really the key to getting internet sales. Your website and everything has to look really well, but it also has to be optimized for people that are searching online for a product that you'd be selling. So one thing you'll notice is we go in depth with our product descriptions, because essentially for Google to send someone to my website, it has to be what a customer is looking for. So for instance, this candle here, this Widow Wonders, this is our biggest selling holiday or Christmas candle, or winter really, candle. So talking about Woodland Wonder all over my website, like, is not going to bring me sales from random searches all over the internet because nobody's searching for a Woodland Wonder candle. They're looking for a Fraser fir candle, a eucalyptus candle. So making sure that the notes that you have in this candle are written out in your product descriptions is going to help Google know to align a customer searching for a certain scent with your product. Woodland Wonder doesn't explain what this candle smells like. So a customer's never going to search like, find me a Woodland Wonder candle. They're going to say, find me a Christmas candle that has Fraser fir in it, or just a Fraser fir candle, or a Santal and sandalwood candle, or a lemon citrus candle. Those are the things that people are searching for, and those are the keywords that your website needs to have on your website in places, but also mainly in the product description on the product pages, because Google's not going to send them to my main Garden and Beacon website. Google is going to return a result to someone looking at the exact page where it should be. And so the thing is when you get someone to your website onto a page, they need to stay there for a little bit. They need to scroll through. If it's very basic, you just have Fraser for candle. Someone goes there and they click off of it real quick. That's like a bad site for Google. So they need to stay there for a few seconds, look at your product, and that's kind of how you win at that. There's so many websites that you can learn SEO from. You shouldn't pay for any of that. There's Ahrefs is really good. SEM, Rush is really good. Lots of SEO websites, and then you can just pick up tips and tricks from them on how to then go back and optimize your website as well. So making sure your site is SEO optimized is going to be the best way to gain sales on the internet. The thing is it's not short term; it's a long term game. For you can go and update your website right now and make it completely SEO optimized. You might not be getting any results from that work for 4 to 6 months. Google crawls your website, which means like it scrapes it, it goes through every single page, and it calculates if it would be good results for certain searches. So that takes time, and you have to build. You have to build up. There's no reason that my candles are going to be above a Yankee candle day one. Now, I am proud. We've got like 15 keywords that now rank really high. For instance, if someone searches for a vanilla scented candle, we now are ranking up higher for that. We're like on the first page of Google, which is great because as you start to rise to the top, you need to be in the first three spots really on Google to start to see some growth in sales. We have some random ones. Bergamot, we do really well with Bergamot sales because we rank really high for that. So and then also like who you're targeting as far as with your candles. So if your candles are for soccer moms and your whole brand is around soccer moms and your website's all about soccer moms candles, then if someone's looking for a soccer mom candle, then you'll likely be at the very top. Maybe that's a niche that one of you can pick up there. So we do a lot of stuff with the LGBTQ community, and so if you were to type in an LGBTQ um, candles or gifts or something, we're right up top there. Like you're going to find us. And then we sell and we do a lot of our charity work. So like our candles for a cause pops up for a lot of search results. So those are things to keep in mind. I wouldn't try to optimize for a citrus scented candle. You want to, but you don't want to put all your efforts into one thing. I would do the Santal. So as soon as Santal was super popular, we have a few candles now that have it. So it was just promoting that all over, making sure that all those pages, the descriptions are really thorough on our website. So we get those orders now because Santal scent is still popular today. Next question is from Kim C. C asks, what is the max percent of fragrance oil that can be used in a body massage candle? Okay, so Kim is amazing. Kim is actually a member of our All Access Pass. So she's in our membership, and she asked this question during our office hours this week. And so because she's in our membership, we wanted to work and get her this answer. I don't know. I don't make massage candles, but we have connections with suppliers because we've just built up those connections over time. So I said, Kim, I'm going to go get you that answer. So I emailed our connection at Mixie and at Candle Science. Those are two of our big suppliers. And I asked them, hey, I have someone in our membership and they need an answer to this. And they were both of those companies were fantastic and got a great answers back. Essentially, you're going to want to look at the IFRA on the oils to make sure that the percent that is designated for like lotions. So, for instance, I believe, don't quote me on this because I'm not making these candles, but the answer I came back, I believe it was at 6%. Actually, I should. Um, it's going to be based on the oil. So look at the oil. 6%, 3 to 6% is a good amount. Start low and go up as needed to find that right scent, just like we do with any candle. So, for instance, when we're making candles and our wax says it can hold 12%, but we don't ever make candles at 12%. We start at like 8% and we'll go up slowly if needed. But so to make massage candles, you're going to want to look at like the lotion designation or category for what that oil will do, and every oil is gonna be different. So you should be looking at that for the oil that you're using for that. So that's regarding massage candles. Next question is from Dia, and Dia asks how to find customers. So we often decide that we want to make candles and go through the whole process of testing, creating, spending lots of money, and we don't know who our customer is. So we need to do those in reverse. We need to know who we're making candles for so we can make those candles for that person. I can make a fantastic citrus scented candle. I can make that Santal candle I just referenced. I can make my winter candles. Then I can make a Fruit Loop candle. And then I can make a chocolate fudge candle. And then I'm like, okay, who am I selling to? And then you're going to start trying to sell to all those different people. Those are very different people. Someone buying a Fruit Loop or a chocolate candle is not buying a Santal candle. Someone that's buying a $50 candle won't even pick your candle up if it's $10. Some people are buying thousands of $10 candles or $15 candles, and they won't even take the lid off and smell a candle that's $30, right? So all of those ways are totally fine to go. It all depends on who your customer is. You can't, if you try to please everyone, you're going to please no one. And people want to spend money where they feel like they're part of something. And so that's what branding is getting people into your world and serving those customers. Now, there's going to be people outside of that that are going to buy your candles, and then you may decide to expand your brand a little bit. We have done that. We started with our classic line of candles, and then we started getting enough of a request of specific things to where we would just base a whole collection around it. We didn't add it to our main classics because that would kind of have thrown off what our brand is. So we want to cater to more, but especially just starting out, especially if you're not getting sales right now, then you got to dial that in. You got to know who your customer is and only focus on them. So, and you need to meet them where they are. So my customer is a Facebook, some Instagram. As we're growing, we're getting more on Instagram because of our retail locations, and it's a younger audience than what we target generally. That has found us just by having a retail location, but we're generally going after that, 35 to 50 woman that has some disposable income, has no problem spending $26 to $40 on a candle, likes to treat herself, likes to have that self care time. Not just the person that would hurrying, go to your big box store and pick up a candle because you got company coming over and we got to light a candle real quick. Like that's not our customer. Or where, you could go to some of these big box discount retailers and buy 10 candles for $10, right? Like that's not our customer. Everyone's customer is going to be different. There's some customers, Ashley in our membership just was in our hot seat last night, and we worked together one-on-one, and her candles for like a 12-ounce candle. So a little bit bigger than this. They're $75, and I would love to be able to sell $75 candles. That would be fantastic, right? She knows exactly who her customer is, and that's what they pay. And she has all of that really dialed in, where she doesn't need to sell as many candles as I do to make the same amount of revenue coming in. She knows exactly who her customer is, and she gives them what they want, and that's how that works. So I can't sell $75 candles to my customer. I can change who my customer is, or I might try to bring those people in, but that's just not who I am. So you got to know who your customer is. So who'd you make candles for? Why are you making candles? Get that dialed in, and it'll be a lot easier. And rather than just going out there trying to find someone to come in and buy your candle, you've got to figure out who your customer is. The next question is from Bev. How hard is it to get started and be profitable? I'm not going to lie to you. It's hard. You got to put in hard work. You can't start this in a weekend. You can't start this in 2 weekends. But once you have what I just discussed, your customer and who you want to make candles for figured out, that's half the battle. Then you just got to make a really good candle. And that's why we don't get too complicated with our candles. We make a really good smelling candle in a very simple jar. We like a colorful label. That's what our customers wanted that we're selling to. So that's that's our niche is that we have a nice, pretty, bright. God, this candle smells good. It's this winter spice. This is my favorite. Now I'm selling you. You used to buy this candle from me. Winter spice. It's my favorite. Not our biggest seller. Our biggest seller is the Woodland Wonder, but okay, the Winter Spice is the best. All right, I'm totally getting off topic now. So you got to know who to sell for. That's more important than how to make candles. Once you know who you want to sell for, fantastic. Then you need to align your. If you want to avoid spending lots and lots of money, then you need to align yourself with someone that can teach you how to make candles the right way. There's YouTubers out there that are fantastic. Wade from Black Tie Bar, he's got a million videos. Go watch his videos. Like he's good. He knows what he's doing, right? He's in the supply business now, but he can do anything in the candle business. He's fantastic. He's done it for a while. You can trust him, right? People come and trust us. They know we're literally running a shop every single day. We know how to make candles. There are other people out there, but if you start with someone or start with something and keep switching over and over and seeing a conversation in a Facebook group and then you change your mind, I think that you could ask anyone that is successful in selling candles. And the thing that they're going to tell you is when something doesn't work, when I make this candle at home and I light it, it doesn't give me the scent throw I want, it tunnels, um, something's just not right, then I look around and I go and watch different YouTube videos, or I go and start reading and asking a bunch of questions in Facebook communities. The the scariest thing is when you ask a question and you get 100 different answers, because then you're like, I don't know which way to go because this person says I need to wick up. This person says that I need to add more oil. This person says that I'm using the wrong wax. Like, what do I do? And then you start trying those different things. That's when candle making gets crazy expensive. It gets real expensive when you start switching. When in reality, you may have just had the wrong size wick in here and you just needed to go up one, and that's a 10-cent fix. And now I mean, in reality, it's gonna cost more than that. You want to make another candle and all that. But what you're doing might not be completely wrong. You just got to make the right adjustments. So that's why I always encourage people just to find someone that you trust. You want to do what they're doing. If you want to make marbled candles or candles that have a really awesome bright colored dye and everything in them, don't take my advice on how to make dyed candles because I don't know. I can tell you like just from my knowledge and my experimenting, but someone else is going to give you better advice than me. So usually I just won't comment on stuff like that. There's certain topics within the candle communities that I just don't comment on. For instance, like botanicals and stuff on top. I don't even want to get in those conversations. I don't get in conversations of is paraffin or soy better. It's not a conversation I want to get into. We do soy candles, we do coconut wax candles, but if someone wants to ask me directly, I'll tell you why we do what we do. That's a whole nother video though. So don't, you kind of have to have blinders on. Align yourself with someone. Who's that going to be? That's for you to decide. If you want to have a retail store or you want to just sell lots of candles online, ask me, join our membership, join us. We have a candle making course. And so what I'm getting to is align yourself with whatever or whoever you feel like, oh, they're doing right now what I want to do. One thing that I would say is there's a lot of us out there that can make candles and sell candles. And a lot of people don't end up being successful at it. And for whatever reason, or they may pivot to deciding to do something else. I would say that you want to see that they're doing what they're saying they're doing. And are they doing it right now? If I was trying to sell you a wholesale course, but I'm not actually doing wholesale, then even though I may have been doing wholesale and I may have been fantastic 5 years ago at it, I'm not doing it today. I'm not going to know the current trend, right? I am doing wholesale right now, but I'm saying, hopefully that makes sense to you. If someone was making candles and selling a lot of candles, or they're saying they're selling a lot of candles, but they're not necessarily doing that today, someone will say, oh, yeah, like I'm selling thousands of candles every month. You go to their website like doesn't exist, right? So you've got to make sure that if you got to align with someone that you want to learn from, but then you should make sure that they're actually doing what they say that they're doing. And I think that that's can be tough to find, is what I'll say there. So enough of that question there. But so when you do that, I didn't answer the question. So align yourself with a community or someone that you want to do what they're doing. Generally, anyone that's successful doesn't mind giving tips and tricks. I always give out tips and tricks when I can, but it ended up being a lot of my time to where we created a membership, and that's why we got everyone together that we can all do this together in a tight community. So that's why we built that. But I'm still here selling candles literally every day. Pauline says, "How easy is it to start my own business?" Okay, so we almost just covered all of that. So you have to have a really good product, and to get a really good product, you might want to align yourself or take a candle course of someone that is doing exactly what you want to do. Um, be in a community of people that are doing it, and ask the right questions. And make sure when you ask questions that you provide, if you're doing something that's not working, provide how you're doing that, so that they understand how you're doing something and can actually give you the information to adjust it. But as far as starting a business, you got to know who your customer is. You got to be able to provide for them what they're looking for. So that's the making of the candle. Who you want to sell to, what you're going to sell to them, how you're going to sell to them. Are you going to sell online? Are you going to sell at markets on the weekends? Are you going to just do this at home and just do wholesale? That's a fantastic route to go. Or do you want to have retail stores? You got to figure out how you want to do that, and then start executing. Obviously, you need to get your licenses. You got to get registered with the IRS. You got to do all of those things and get that all figured out. But that stuff is all relatively simple. Again, surround yourself with people that are doing it. And if they're successful, they are more than happy to give you, a brain dump of all the information. We're super transparent in what we do. So keep asking the right questions. We can even give you better answers there. So this is a much longer video than I planned for, but if you watched this long, thank you so much. I appreciate you. There's always free resources on our website. Obviously our courses are there too, if that's something of interest. But come join us in the Cannabis Business Pro Facebook group. If you're not already in there, that's completely free. And we're in there all the time answering questions and dropping some information there as well. So thank you so much. Have a fantastic day. Take care.